All right, guys, today is our final day of the linear equations unit. We're going to go ahead and finish it off today. So we've learned how to write a linear equation in both slope-intercept form and take it from standard form into slope-intercept form. We've learned how to graph it. We've learned how to identify slope, y-intercept. We've learned how to find the slope from points, find the slope from a table, find the equation from a graph, table, or points. Now we're going to look at, is my point on a line? How to justify if a point is sitting on a line, okay? So I want you to start with a warm-up. You're going to convert the following equations into slope-intercept form from standard form. All right, go ahead and pause now. All right, guys, hopefully you have finished solving your equations. I'm going to go over them with you. To convert into standard form, we have to get the y by itself. So I'm going to start by moving the x over. So I'm going to subtract by 3x on both sides. Then I'm going to divide by whatever number is attached to the y. So I'm going to divide by -2 right here. Now I'm going to simplify. Y is going to equal -16 divided by -2. Well, negative divided by negative makes a positive. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Then a -3x divided by -2. Well, a negative divided by negative again makes a positive. 3 divided by 2 is not going to divide evenly, so I'm going to do it as 3/2 x. So it's y equals 8 plus 3/2 x. Moving on to my next one. Again, center of my equation is the equal sign. I want to move my x over, so I'm going to subtract 13x from both sides. Okay, so now I have -11. Y equals -12 minus 13x. Divide by -11 on both sides. Y equals negative divided by negative is going to make a positive, so it's 12/11ths. And then again, a negative divided by negative makes a positive, plus 13/11ths x. If you wanted to make that into a decimal, you could go ahead and do so, but I'm going to leave it just like it is. Okay, going to my last one here, I'm going to go ahead and center of my equation is my equal sign. I'm going to subtract 11x on both sides. So now I have -8. Y is equal to -48 minus 11x. I'm going to divide by -8 on both sides. And now I'm going to simplify. -48 divided by -8 is going to make a positive, and 48 divided by 8 is 6. -11 divided by -8 again is going to make positive. 11 cannot divide evenly by 8, so I'm going to leave it as a fraction as 11/8 x. All right, if you need to write any of this work down, please pause before I move on to the next slide. If you're with me, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next slide in just a second. Go ahead and hit pause. All right, if you're currently with me, I'm clearing my screen to move to the next slide. So today we're going to talk about finding points on a line to see if they're in your equation. So we're going to check to see if a point is on a line in your equation. So here's your steps for how you try it. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, so steps. You're going to write your equation in either slope-intercept form or standard form. You're going to plug in a point for x and y. So you're going to plug your x in, you're going to plug your y in, then you're going to simplify. If the point is on the line, the answer will be equal. If your answer is not equal, then your point's not on the line. So let's go ahead and try a few example problems. If you don't have this written down yet, please pause so that way you can make sure you get all the steps written. All right, let's go to the next part. All right, so example 1. Decide whether the point 3, -2 is on the line whose equation is y equals -2x. Remember that in points, x comes first, followed by y. So I'm going to just plug this point in. I'm going to plug in -2 equals 2 times 3 minus 8. Okay? 2 times 3 is 6, so now I have -2 equals 6 minus 8. 6 minus 8 is -2, so now I have -2 equals -2. Since they equal each other, this point is on the line. So I'm going to say yes, it's on the line. All right, let's go ahead and try our next one. However, if you need to finish this work, please hit pause now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and clear my screen and move on to the next one. So this one says, decide whether the point -2, 8 is on a line whose equation is 6x plus 4. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it in. I'm going to go, remember that x comes first, then y. So I'm going to plug in 8 equals 6 times -2 plus 4. Okay, now 6 times -2 is going to be -12 plus 4. If I owe you $12 and I pay you $4, I still owe you $8. Although 8 and 8 are the same, this one is still negative, so these two do not equal each other. So the answer is no. This point is not on the line. All right, so then let's move on. We're going to try some on our own. So what I want you guys to do now is decide whether the point 1, -12, is on the line whose equation is y equals -10, x minus 2. You're going to try it on your own, and then once you've solved it, you're going to replay this video so you can make sure that it's correct. All right, pause now. All right, if you're with me now, then you've already solved it and you're ready to make sure that this is correct. Remember, this is x, this is y. So I'm going to plug in -12 equals -10 times 1 minus 2. -10 times 1 is -10, so I have -12 is equal to -10 minus 2. Remember, if I borrow $10 from you, and then I borrow 2 more from Miss Thor, I now owe -$12. So I have -12 equals -12. Since -12 does equal -12, my answer is yes, this point is on the line. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move us on to our last example. All right, decide whether the point 2, 2 is on the line whose equation is 2x plus 3y minus 10 equals 0. Don't let this equation scare you. There's still an x, there's still a y, just plug it right in. Go ahead and start now. Pause. All right, if you're with me, you've paused, you've solved, and you know whether or not this point is on the line. So this is an x, this is a y. I'm going to go ahead and plug them in. So it's 2 times 2 plus 3 times 2 minus 10 equals 0. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 times 2 is 6, minus 10 equals 0. 4 plus 6 is 10, minus 10 equals 0. 10 minus 10 is 0, 0 equals 0. Since they do equal each other, yes, our point is on the line. If you need to pause, please do so you can write all these answers. I'm going to move us to the next slide, which is our ending slide. You're going to go to Summit now and complete checkpoint 10, identify the points. Make sure you submit for feedback and make sure you're starting to prepare for yourself for our test on Friday. Have a good day.